Ben, thank you so much for joining us today.
Good afternoon.
Now, what you're going to speak to us today is really exciting in a way, because despite the fact that the country is experiencing load shedding, blackouts, which really do affect business, what you're reporting is that there is serious optimism in South Africa for small to medium enterprises. Won't you explain why?
I must confess, we were quite surprised when we got the results of our latest survey back, because despite all the negativity that one reads in the newspapers about load shedding and about economic growth being slow to gain traction, our survey results show that the confidence levels amongst entrepreneurs, those individuals that are running, managing, and owning their own businesses, are actually at the highest level since we started with the survey. Confidence levels meaning that they are optimistic that their businesses will grow in the next 12 months. Now, this is despite the fact that the general report on our economy, on our country, is actually quite negative when one thinks of issues such as load shedding or slow economic growth, labor problems, etc.
Now, we do know that these businesses are going to be facing some challenges, namely the increase in tariffs when it comes to electricity and water, and certainly the increasing cost of fuel. So what are some of the challenges that you're predicting for SMEs in the next 6 months?
You were right in highlighting those, but in addition to concerns about fuel price, concerns about the wage settlement negotiations that will be taking place over the course of the next 3 months, we see that entrepreneurs and small businesses specifically at the highest rating in terms of concerns for the future is in fact the load shedding issue, and to what extent that could actually affect the viability and the sustainability of their business. It's a general trend that the credibility from our government leadership is also a concern to small business owners, as well as what political stability in the country might mean for them specifically, but also for general economic growth.
Now, we know that when it comes to small to medium enterprises that are certainly, they've been described as government as really important for our economy, especially when we look at the National Development Plan. We know that support is vital for these enterprises. Speak to us about the type of support that needs to be given to SMEs in the next 6 months by government and even by big business.
Again, you're pointing out a very real and a very important aspect that small business owners are as vital to the survival of their businesses. You've got to recognize that a small business owner is often operating very alone or in a very lonely environment with very little support that we typically take for granted in a corporate or in a government department. And technical support and mentorship has consistently been rated as one of the most important aspects that small business sees as being important for the success in the future. This form of technical support or mentorship is often in the form of somebody where they can discuss, an experienced business person where you can actually be mentored and where they can discuss with you issues that you might face on a day-to-day basis in your business. And again, a big organization might have lots of resources to leverage off, such as accountants and human resource managers and marketing agents, whereas the small business entrepreneur often has to fulfill all of these functions him or herself, and access to that kind of technical assistance or technical help in the various aspects of their businesses is paramount for their long-term sustainability and their long-term success.
Finally, Ben, you've described the optimism that your polling and your survey has proven when it comes to these business people. In your professional opinion, is this optimism perhaps inflated? Is it realistic? Is the optimism going to decline as we move into the next 6 months?
This survey was done up until the end of March, and we do expect, unfortunately, that this level of optimism is not going to be sustained into the next quarter and into the rest of this year. It's probably fair to say that some of the economic benefits of the lower oil price in the first quarter contributed to this level of optimism. I think the priority given to the government, especially in the State of the Nation address, as well as in the budget speech, to the importance of small business